What's up, y'all? We're back with another episode of the Golden Hour podcast. My name is Maddie McConnell, the first John McLendon Fellow. And to my right...
Yes, my name is Simone Winters, and I'm the current John McLendon Fellow here at the Horizon League.
And if you didn't guess it already, yes, we will be talking about John McLendon during this John McLendon Celebration Week. We are so honored to be here and just, shine light on his name, honestly, because he is someone everyone should know, not only in the Horizon League, but beyond. And so he made a national and international impact through the game of basketball, and we're here to talk more about it. So, yes. Simone, for those who didn't see our teaser earlier this week on Instagram, can you tell us more about who John McLendon was?
Yes, John McLendon was the very first African-American basketball coach at a predominantly white institution, which was at our very own Cleveland State. He invented the fast break, but has also been awarded so many different honors through the collegiate space, the NCAA, but just really was a great pioneer in the space.
Yeah, and you said pioneer, and that makes me think about how he wasn't only inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame as a coach, but also a pioneer because of the way he changed the game, because of the teachings that he did, and the secrets he kept. Can you tell us a little bit more about the secrets he kept?
Yes, so he hosted the very first integrated basketball game in collegiate sports, and that secret was held for 40-plus years. Mm-hmm. Did not go out. They would have got in trouble if it did go out. So those who did know about it, it was kept for a very, very long time. But he was a pioneer while no one knew who he was at that time. But he created a lot of open doors and spaces for African-American athletes, minorities, but then just the game of basketball as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely. And that all happened in the good state of North Carolina when his College for Negroes went to play the Duke Medical basketball team at the time. And that was full of former military, individuals. And so that was a big secret that ultimately changed the game as we know it. And now all athletes around have, teammates that may or may not look like them. And that's ultimately due to his heroic efforts in the secret game. So really, really want to shine light on that as well. He was also a head coach at Tennessee State. In the NAIA at the time, and won back-to-back national championships. Yeah. And that's insane because, honestly, no one knew about that because of the color of his skin. And so just talk a little bit more about that and how much pride we should take in, self-identity and being who we are.
What he did at Tennessee State was just so important just because he wasn't in a position where he could kind of share with the whole entire world his accomplishments during that time. So for him to have done that for us then and be so secretive of those things and now being in a space where we can express ourselves, it's just super important to kind of take those wins. But you're doing it for more than just yourself, but doing it for someone who didn't have those voices. There's so many pioneers in the sports who paved the way and that are constantly going overlooked and unknown. Mm-hmm. So I think now it's definitely important to kind of know who you are as an individual and then display that in all platforms, whether that be on the court, off the court, student athlete, as an academic, whatever. Just making sure that you're able to shed your light on everything.
Amen to that. And so you talk about, being confident in who you are and, shining light on that. But ultimately, I don't think we would have ever known anything about this or actually been as confident as we are today in our positions that we hold without the McLendon Foundation.
Yes.
Yeah. So I know that's near and dear to my heart and it ultimately changed my life. Yes. But tell everyone listening today about the McLendon Foundation and how it ultimately impacted your life.
Yeah. So the McLendon Foundation, they offer fellowships, scholarships, great opportunities, but obviously, it's to withhold his legacy throughout our generation and further generations. But currently, as a fellow part of the 2026 cohort, there's a group of us across the nation just with career opportunities for postgraduates, just to get our foot in the doorstep. As we know, it can be super hard as a minority, but as an individual as a whole, especially coming from different backgrounds of being student athletes, just even in areas where you're lacking those opportunities. So the McLendon Foundation does that. They also host a conference once a year, I believe, right? And that's where you're able to meet your cohort, meet other individuals. The way they've done it this year was they've opened it up to the public. So now you're meeting other fellows outside of the McLendon Foundation, but just has been a great space to meet like-minded individuals, people around your age, people you can connect with, so you can connect with horizontally as well, but then also meeting other industry professionals.
Yeah, I mean, I think it also ultimately gives us young professionals and majority people of color, which I think is so important, in the space to, feed that pipeline for diversity and not only college sports, but sports in general. And so I don't know about you, but my McLendon experience back in 2022 was, life-changing. I met like lifelong friends, of course, but I also was able to, figure out a lot more about myself. And so kudos to Adrian and everyone at the, and Ish, everyone at the McLendon Foundation up in Cleveland. In the Horizon footprint, of course. We are so appreciative, and we want to give, we're big on giving people their flowers when they can still smell them. And so I want to really give the McLendon Foundation, everyone a part of it, their flowers. Our cohort, my cohort from 2022 all the way to this cohort, I think it's so important because we never know where our peers will be, as you said, networking here is horizontally in the next 5, 10, 15 years. And I think it's all because we are standing on the shoulders of John McLendon and others like him.
Yeah, no, I think coming from the background of being a student athlete and then not really having a lot of career opportunities just because I was so focused on my sport, and then finding this position here has definitely been life-changing for me, especially that our conference that we had with one another. Being in that space was it was a lot of holistic development as well as professional, but being able to connect deeply with others. We had great speakers like Mark Trumbo, Lamar Pottinger, and so many different others, so many different sessions, and it was very self-reflecting, but that space was definitely a time where I would look back and could say like, oh, I'm like, people understand like the struggles that everyone's going through of like, what am I going to do next? This fear, this imposter syndrome. That was a space where we were all just vulnerable and we were able to just speak about our true feelings and then also get those resources to help. So I think those at the McLendon Foundation right now have done a great job to provide an opportunity that's more than just who you are in your career, but who you are as a individual as well.
Absolutely. And the McLendon Foundation brought me my work bestie. Yes. So very appreciative of everything that McLendon Foundation has done. But ultimately, why John McLendon? Why do we celebrate this week? Why is it so important for student athletes, administrators, our entire membership to know who he was? Just like the Martin Luther Kings, the Rosa Parks. Yeah. But why John McLendon?
I mean, sports is huge now. This is someone's everyday life. This is a big part of their lives, and especially coming from since he was at Cleveland State, which is within the Horizon League, it's so important for our membership and our student athletes to know yes, this is a big part of your life, but this would have never been a thing. This would have been your reality if it wasn't for John McLendon. Even just everyone as a whole, like you said, you named the MLKs and the Rosa Parks, that they integrated something amazing into our world now. So I think just constantly remembering I'm here because of the shoulders I stepped on of someone else's, and understanding that who that person is, John McLendon, and how he paved our way. And I just think it's important to know who he is, to celebrate him, and understand that there are people who set and laid a foundation for us.
Yeah, it's so important not to take any second for granted because the end can be near at any point. Yes, you have your 4, sometimes 5 years of eligibility available, but that may get cut short. So don't take it for granted. Step on that playing surface every day like it'll be your last, because John McLendon didn't know when his last would be. It could have been every day. He faced every day like it was his last because of the heroic, actions that he took just to play the game of basketball and just to teach the game of basketball.
It's crazy to think about it, honestly.
It is, honestly.
But the McLendon Foundation has... Yes, and the McLendon Foundation does a great job, like you're saying, your end date is coming. It's going to be, they do such a great job of giving people those opportunities, understanding that it's all about who you know, making those connections, but also working hard, and that's exactly what John McLendon did. He knew great people, he had great teachers, but he also knew how to kind of get his head in the mud and kind of just figure those things out as well. So that was definitely great, and McLendon is doing a great job of kind of withstanding his legacy as well.
Absolutely. So any more information to find out about the McLendon Foundation and how myself and Simone became McLendon Fellows, you can go on McLendonFoundation.org and find all the information you need to know. And if you want to become a McLendon Fellow.
Yes, great opportunity for everyone. So you should definitely check it out.
Again, it's not just the Horizon League, it's across the country and Division I athletic departments and Division I athletic conferences. And so a great opportunity there. Before we get out of here, I do just want to give you a little start bench cut.
Okay,
Just
let me hear
in
it.
the spirit of Black History Month, in the spirit of John McLendon and all that he's done for us. Let's mix a little Black History Month with basketball. Okay.
Yeah,
So we're going to do a start bench cut with basketball movies. All right. And so I feel like you know where I'm going with this, but so we'll do start bench cut, Love and Basketball, classic.
Yeah.
All right. Coach Carter, another classic. All right. Or Like Mike.
Ooh, okay. This one's tough. I think I'm going to have to cut Like Mike.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Not
feel
as
like that's-
classic. Not as
yeah,
classic,
you know,
but
that's
it's still,
solid.
yeah.
I would have to.
Shout out Bow Wow.
I would have to start. Yeah, I'm gonna start Love and Basketball. That's a solid choice.
Yes.
And then we're gonna bench Coach Carter. Still a great movie though.
Still a great movie.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. Coach Carter is up there in one of my top faves, so I might have to switch that around. But, I might have to go home and watch those movies just because.
Yes, rewatch them and then rethink.
Yeah, no, but this has been another episode of The Golden Hour. Make sure to follow us, like, and subscribe on all platforms. And Simone, this has been great. And I preach, and I pray that others will get to know John McLendon like we do so well.
Yes. Thank you, Maddie.
See y'all next time.
Bye.